My friends, I am Thomas Jefferson, and if you'll permit an old man the indulgence, I'd like to share with you the story of a life lived in service to an idea, the radical notion that all men are created equal. I was born in 1743 at Shadwell Plantation in Virginia, the third of 10 children. My father, Peter, was a surveyor and mapmaker. Perhaps that's where I inherited my love of exploration, whether of new lands or new ideas. When he died, I was just 14, but he left me more than property. He left me a hunger for knowledge. At the College of William and Mary, I discovered the philosophers who would shape my thinking, John Locke, who taught me about natural rights, and the Baron de Montesquieu, who showed me how government power should be divided. I studied law, but my real education came from books. I once calculated I spent 15 hours a day reading. By my 30s, I found myself thrust into the great struggle of our age. In 1775, I arrived in Philadelphia as the youngest delegate to the Continental Congress. When they needed someone to draft our Declaration of Independence, John Adams insisted it should be me. "You write 10 times better than I do," he said. For 17 days, I laboured over those words in my rented room. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I knew I was writing not just for the colonies, but for all of humanity, a universal declaration that government derives its power from the consent of the governed. Yet I must speak honestly about the great contradiction of my life. I wrote of equality while owning enslaved people. I called slavery a fire-bell in the night, knowing it would tear our nation apart, yet I remained trapped by the economic and social systems I was born into. This remains the most painful aspect of my legacy, that I could envision freedom but could not fully live it. As our third president, I faced a decision that would double our nation's size. Napoleon offered to sell the entire Louisiana Territory for $15 million. My strict interpretation of the Constitution told me I lacked the power to make such a purchase, but my vision for America's future demanded it. Sometimes you must act beyond the letter of the law to fulfill its spirit. In my final years, I poured my energy into what I called my academical village, the University of Virginia. I designed every building, selected every professor, and crafted a curriculum based on the free inquiry of the human mind. Education, I believed, was the guardian genius of democracy. I lived through the birth of a nation, helped shape its founding principles, and watched it grow from 13 colonies to a continental power. But perhaps my greatest satisfaction comes from this. I helped establish the idea that government exists to serve the people, not the other way around. I died on July 4th, 1826, 50 years to the day after our declaration was approved. John Adams died the same day. His last words, reportedly, "Thomas Jefferson survives." In a way, he was right. The ideas we fought for do survive. I wrote my own epitaph. Here lies Thomas Jefferson, author of the Declaration of American Independence, of the Statute of Virginia for religious freedom, and father of the University of Virginia. Notice what I left out: President of the United States. I wanted to be remembered not for the offices I held, but for the freedoms I helped secure. The tree of liberty, I once wrote, must be refreshed from time to time. Each generation must fight anew for the principles we established. That fight continues today, and it is yours to wage. Remember, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance, and the foundation of democracy is an educated citizenry. May you prove worthy of the republic we entrusted to your care.